And we are live. Today, let me turn this off, get all this prepped up. Today we're talking about the 6 stages of film production and how you can use those 6 stages in creating content for YouTube, even Facebook, even LinkedIn. I mean, whenever you're creating content, using these 6 stages of production is extremely beneficial. Now, I've adapted. These are the 6 stages for film production. Like if you're going to create a movie, you're going to make a documentary. But what I've done is I've adapted these 6 stages into something that you can actually use for YouTube, which is great. I mean, everybody talks about these 6 stages. They just don't realize it. So in order from 1 to 6, the first stage is development. The second stage is pre-production. The third stage is production. The fourth stage is post-production. The fifth stage is exhibition. And the 6th stage is distribution. But we're going to adapt those because you can't really use all of them for YouTube, but you can if you change them around a little bit. Now, before we go on, please drop me a comment in the chat. Tell me where you're from. Tell me, what your current YouTube content looks like. Tell me if you're actually producing content. I don't know. Just go crazy. Leave me a comment. Have fun with it. I'm trying to have fun with these live streams because these live streams are fun. I mean, I can actually talk to you guys directly. So today we're going to go over these 6 stages of production for film and how we adapt them into YouTube and how following these 6 stages is going to help guarantee that you actually come up with something very viable, very productive, something that's going to help your business grow, something that's going to help your channel grow. Because you know what they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So these 6 stages of production are basically the planning stages so that you actually succeed. Okay, now if you can hear me, I hope you guys can hear me because the last couple of episodes, as a matter of fact, let me take a break here. Let me take a second and make sure that everything is up to par in the sense that you can hear me. I want to check my audio levels. And let's see, where am I here? Not here. I am here. Okay, here. We're just going to click on this really quick. Oh, this is live. Wow, look, I'm on you. Oh, yes. Sounds good. I just double checked the audio. Last couple of episodes. I think one time I had the fader all the way down to 0, and then nobody could hear me. Today, I think I actually got it right. And then last time it was really, really funny because I actually scheduled a Facebook Live at 10:30 instead of 10. And for some reason, the Facebook Live goes live on its own on the scheduled time. So that was a, interesting events that happen when you're creating these live streams. All these moving parts that you got to fix together. But okay, so today, briefly, I'm going to go into these 6 stages. And what I'd like to do really is dive deeper into each one of these 6 stages. So today we'll briefly go over them: development, development, pre-production, production, post-production, exhibition, distribution. We'll go over them kind of generally. I got something in my throat. And then what I'd like to do is plan the next 6 episodes of these live streams. I'm going to do a deeper dive into each one of these to really look at it, take it apart, and help you use it in a way that it's going to help you create better content. But at the same time, maybe it'll help you see how detail-oriented I am and how I really want to create the most incredible videos for you. And you'll give me a call and hire me to do your production. That would be great. Okay, so let's look at development. What is development and what goes into development? Development is when for a film is really you're writing the script. Okay, that's the development phase. You're writing the script. But when it pertains to YouTube, we need to transform that a little bit because in YouTube, there's a lot more that goes into it. You're developing the idea. You're developing, you need to research the idea. So let's say you're developing, they always say, do the thumbnail first, right? So the thumbnail, the title, the SEO optimization, that's all done in the development phase. You're doing all that before you do anything else. and then you're making sure that that idea is actually viable for what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to sell cars and you make a video about light switches, I mean, that's not gonna be a viable idea for your business. I mean, maybe that light switch idea gets a million views, but is it gonna help you sell a car? I mean, it's better to maybe you do a video about the door handle on a car. I mean, the Tesla has an amazing door handle. It's really really cool. It's an awesome concept. Now, if you do that and you get 100 views and you sell a car, it's better than doing one on light switches and getting a million view and not selling a car, right? So that goes back to the last live stream that I did. So if you didn't watch that one, after you finish this one, check out that live stream. Hold on a second. I had a cold last week and I'm still getting over it. So then the development phase, you are going to research your idea and make sure that that idea is a good idea for your channel to help you move your services and products. Then you're going to go into SEO optimization with the title, the thumbnail. You're going to design the thumbnail. You're going to do several different concepts for that thumbnail so that you can choose the best one, and you can A/B test them. YouTube has this beautiful feature where you can A/B test up to 3 thumbnails and titles and not descriptions. Yeah. So there is Alessandro. Hey, how's it going, Alessandro? And I'm just taking a break here. And Vivian and Tomoko, thank you so much. Sounds great. It's great to see you guys on the live stream. Okay, so let's get back. So you're developing that thumbnail, that title, you're optimizing it, and all before the pre-production stage. Okay, so once you've got that down, you've got the script written. I mean, it's always a good idea to write the script. Never try to wing it because winging it is not a good idea. I do a lot of planning. Like, for example, this live stream, I do a lot of planning for it. I did write a script for it. I'm probably off script, but that's the exciting thing about doing things live because I do not have a teleprompter. When I film my videos, I do have a teleprompter. I am reading from a script. I'm trying to make it sound like I'm not reading from a script, but I am. Okay, so then you have developed your idea. We're going into pre-production now. What is pre-production? Pre-production is everything that goes into what you're going to do for production. So whether it's location scouting, where are you going to film? Okay, what cameras are you going to use? What kind of lighting are you going to use? What kind of setup are you going to use? What kind of microphones are you going to use? All this you're doing in the pre-production phase. If you're going to shoot at a location, do you have releases for that location? Like, go up to, if you're going to shoot in a restaurant, you need to go to the owner or the manager, get them to sign a release. Hey, I'm filming in here. And it just protects you from future stuff. If you have additional people in your film, get a release, get them to sign a release. That's all in the pre-production phase before you go into production. And that's going to help you make sure that your pre-production, your production phase goes well. Now, another really great thing to do in pre-production is create a shot list and a storyboard. So you take the script that you developed in the development phase, and then you take that script and you come up with what you do is you do this 2-column format script. And when we go dive deeper into the pre-production phase, I'll show you what that looks like. But on one side, you've got the script. On the other side, it's all blank, and you're writing in what kind of shots you want, what kind of B-roll you want, what kind of what's going to help tell the story. Now, after you've gotten that script written out, a great idea is to storyboard it. You really quick. You can do it on index cards. You can do it on your iPad. You can do it on a notebook. You just make a square and you draw a picture in the square what you want that frame to look like. Okay, so that you do all that. It does take time. It's not like just pick up a camera and shoot, right? And you do all that before you go into the production phase. Then you know exactly what camera you're going to use, what kind of shots you're going to get, how your audio is going to sound. You've got all that planned out. So in production, that's the easiest part. Actually, for me, production is the funnest part. I love production. I love setting up my cameras. I love filming. That for me is exciting. This part right here, what we're doing right here with the live stream, I love this stuff. It's fun. I got my microphone. I've got this beautiful Shure SM7B. I've got an awesome Rodecaster Pro. I've got the microphone going into here. I've got the Blackmagic Studio Pro camera. I mean, I'm having so much fun with all this. Then that production part is the easiest part. Then once you've got the production down, you're going to go into post-production. Okay. Now, post-production for me, is the hardest part, because that's where you really have to assemble everything and sit in front of the computer and edit. Okay. That could take, now what they say, industry standards, is for every minute of finished product, calculate about 4 hours of work. Okay. And so if you've got a 10-minute video, plan 40 hours of editing. Okay. Now, of course, you could, YouTube is probably a little bit different, but, you could probably get away with 5 hours of editing if you got everything planned out really, really well, because you're not really, movie production is different. You could get away with 5, but if you spend that 40, you're going to have a great, great, great product, a great video, an awesome thing that the audience is going to enjoy. Now, what goes into post-production, right? So you're assembling all the shots from the shot list. Okay, so that's number one. You assemble everything. You put in on the timeline, and we'll go into, when we do this live stream on the post-production part, I'll kind of I'll share my screen and show you the Premiere Pro out on, how it looks in editing, the timeline, and how you assemble all those parts. Once you've got all those parts assembled, then there's still things that you have to do, right? Then you've got to tweak the audio. Make sure the audio sounds good. Generally, when you're recording, so this is kind of exciting, because when I'm doing a live stream, I can't tweak my audio. My audio is tweaked before it goes into the camera. And I've got this Rodecaster Pro. Gosh, I can't pick it up and show you. You know what? Next time I'm going to put a camera right here, like an overhead camera, so I can show you exactly what it looks like when we go over that live stream of the post-production. But the audio here is getting tweaked. But then when you're filming, usually you've got that beautiful chance to tweak your audio in post-production and make it sound good. Not only that, but you have to overlay your sound effects. So that's a very important part of the experience for people watching, are the sound effects. And like if someone's walking, you want to put in those footsteps, or you go into the fridge, you want to get that audio when you open the fridge door. I watched this short video, and it was a barber. Maybe we can do that really quick while I'm talking here. But they really caught the audio of everything, and it sounded so amazing. I was like so impressed. Like, wow, they did a great job on their audio. Let's see. It's called Japanese Barber. And let's see if this is it right here. Yeah, I think. Yeah, okay, so let me share my screen real quick. And I'm getting some texts. We're going to go to this screen. We're sharing my screen. I've got the wrong screen. Let's share. Replace screen sharing to a Chrome tab. She did everything beautiful. Okay, let's look at this one. We're going to share the audio. And just take a second and listen to this, okay? Listen to the audio. I mean, that sounded pretty cool. That definitely sounded pretty cool. And now I need to stop it. But I think this audio they could have done a much, much better job on this audio. There's still a lot of room noise. They need to take out that room noise. So that's in post-production. That's doing a better job with your post-production. There are some that I've watched. I just pulled up a random video that actually took out that room noise and really made it sound amazing. And when they were shaving, you could hear the razor blade going and cutting the hair off the back of the neck. And I was like, whoa, that is awesome. That kind of audio is very, very important to get in your post-production phase, right? Now, so you've assembled the video, you've assembled the edit, you have done everything you need to do with the audio, you've put all the sound effects. Then the next phase is coloring. So, and we'll go into more detail on a future live stream when we're going over the post-production phase. You got to color the footage. what you're looking at right now, I did color. I did fix this in post production, and I will. Let me share my screen again. Let's see if I can do this just to give you guys an idea of how this looks. Um, let's see, share my screen. We're gonna go here. We're gonna share a window, A10 Mini Pro. Okay, so this is what I used to color my video. And you, I mean, I've got the lift, which is the black levels, the gamma, which are the mid levels, the gain is the white levels, and I can change that. Let, let's see if I can. What we're gonna go to back to my picture, and let's see if I mess with this. I'm gonna boost the I'm gonna reduce the contrast. Boom. You see how I'm like tweaking the audio? Let's go back to 56%. Boom, right? That's the contrast. And so you can kind of get an idea that I did all this picture before we filmed, but in post production, you're actually doing that after you film. In a live production, you're doing it before because you need to get the image to look good. In when you're doing a video and filming it and then editing it, you do the coloring at that part, post production. Now, of course, you've got to make in pre production, you do have to make sure what camera you're using. And then in production, you are making sure that you're getting the correct exposure in your camera. A lot of times, and this is advanced filmmaking, you'll shoot in a flat profile, which means that it'll kind of compress the whites and the blacks a little bit so that you can get a better dynamic range. Dynamic range means the difference between pure white and pure black. You have more of a range so that when you're doing color correction, you can get a better picture. Of course, this is why you hire a professional. If you do a point and shoot, if you use your iPhone to create content, you can't really do this. Maybe you can. Maybe there are workarounds. I mean, I have seen workarounds where you can download an app on your iPhone and help it shoot a flat profile. And then when you go into post production, you can definitely tweak it a little bit better, right? So okay, so we did assemble the edit, we fine-tuned the audio, we added all the sound effects, the background music, all that good stuff, and then we do the coloring. Usually the coloring depends on your process. I mean, everyone does things a little bit different. I usually do the coloring on my main footage first, because if I shoot a long video, like let's say this live stream, it's a long video, and then I'm going to cut different angles, put in B-roll. I'd color it first, because once I start splitting the clip, then I have to color each separate clip. But if I just color the whole thing at once, it makes it easier. So when I'm cutting it up, it stays that same color. So there are parts where I'll color before, there's parts where I'll color afterwards. Okay, so after you've done that in post-production, then you need to export that footage. You have to know what format you're going to export it in. Is it a vertical, right? Is it a reel? Is it going to be a 1920 by 1080 film? Is it going to be 2K? Is it going to be 4K? So those things you're deciding in the post-production part, so that you're exporting it to where you want it to go. And that's all, and that, of course, you're planning that out in pre-production. In pre-production, you're saying, okay, this is going to go to Facebook. I want a reel. This is going to go to LinkedIn. So I want a 1x1. This is going to go to YouTube. So I want it at 4K and YouTube, right? So all that you're deciding in the pre-production. So then in the post-production, you know exactly how to export it and what formats to put it in. Now, you go to the exhibition phase. So in traditional filmmaking, you've got the exhibition stage. That's when you go to film festivals. You're going to exhibit your work of art, okay? And that is not the distribution phase. That's not the phase where you see it in the movie theaters. The movie theaters is the distribution phase. The exhibition phase is when you're at a film festival, or you're going to exhibit it to certain people. With YouTube, how you translate that into YouTube, the exhibition phase is actually when you're going to post it, schedule it on YouTube or on Facebook or on LinkedIn. You've got it scheduled to go out. It's going to go out, like this live stream is going out today at 10 a.m., right? I post a podcast on my channel for Content Guaranteed to help you guys grow your business through YouTube, I put out a regular video every Tuesday at 9:07 a.m. Why did I choose 9:07 and not 9? I don't know. I did some research and I thought, oh, that's the best time to do it, 9:07 a.m. That's when I exhibit my piece every Tuesday at 9:07 a.m. Okay. This live stream is scheduled out every Thursday at 10 a.m. And then my podcast, something new that I'm doing, podcast every Saturday at 10 a.m. I release my podcast. So that's when I exhibit it. Okay. That's the easy part. Then the distribution phase, right? That's how you are going to distribute your piece to more people. So when you distribute it on YouTube, when you exhibit it on YouTube, YouTube is going to take care of trying to get it into the people that want to look at it, right? That's what the algorithm is all about, serving your video to the people that want to watch it. So if I do that car video on the door handles for Tesla, YouTube knows Joe loves looking at Tesla videos. He loves, the algorithm knows him so well because it's got his history, every single video he's looked at. So maybe you want to be careful what you look at. Then it knows, hey, this guy might be interested in this video because it's about the door handles on a Tesla, and it'll serve it up to him. And then that's why the thumbnail is very important, because your thumbnail has to entice him to click, right? It might be the best video in the world, but if your thumbnail sucks and he doesn't click on it, who cares? And then the algorithm is going to think, oh my gosh, this is a terrible video because nobody's clicking on it. So your thumbnail is extremely important. That's why it's the very, very first thing you want to do in development is create that thumbnail that people are going to want to click on. Joe loves he sees the thumbnail and says, oh man, that is going to be an awesome video. And he clicks on it and then he watches it, right? So YouTube did its job. It served the video up to the person that wants to watch it. So just remember, just a little reminder, your thumbnail, your title is extremely important to get that person to click on it. And of course, the content you develop is extremely important. That's, again, in the development phase when you're writing the script. That's a whole thing. I've done some videos on it, right? According to Daryl Eves, I just finished reading Daryl Eves' The YouTube Formula for the second time. I read this book a couple of years ago, and I just read it again because it's a great book. It talks about story development, and you've got that story arc. You're doing that in the development phase so that the viewer enjoys the video. He gets something out of it. He gets some value out of it. And that's like, you've got the hook. Then you want to, I'll just briefly go over that for you for a second. You hook the person in the first 10 seconds. The guy, Joe, is watching that video and he's hooked. He wants to watch. He's like, wow, this is going to be a cool video. Then you need to re-engage that viewer. Then you've got the setup. Then you re-engage the viewer again. Then you've got your climax. And then after the climax, it's over, right? But no, it's not, because a great idea is you want to add that gosh, that was so cool kind of thing in there. And then you've got the finale, right? So that's how you structure that in the development phase, so that when you're in the exhibition phase, the viewer is like, oh man, I love this video. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to take a second break. I'm going to take a break. I got a question here. Oh, that's a very good question. Tomoko asks, do they use the real sound from the scene or use recorded sounds? Okay, that is an awesome question. So in the typical high budget movie making, okay, they typically do not use the audio that they record live. Oh, let me shut that down. You guys hear that? That's a phone call, probably a scam call. I just shut that down. They typically do not use the audio that they record on scene. And that was, again, my phone ringing again. I don't know if this mic caught it. What they do is they use that audio in order, it's called scratch audio. They use it to assemble the video, to assemble the film, and then they go in and they do what's called ADR. It's called automatic dialogue replacement. And what they do is they use that sound, they put headphones on, and they use that audio that they recorded on the set when they were filming, and then they dub it. So the actor sits there, watches a video of themselves, they have a microphone in, and they have to lip sync themselves while they're talking. It's a really fun process. I used to do it. I created a few films, and I did it in that phase, and I had a great time because you're in this sound studio. It's really, really cool. It's called a Foley stage, and you're in there recording the audio, all the sound effects, all like a door closing or footsteps, or all that is recorded in a Foley stage and then added at the end of a production during the post-production phase, right? So that's the typical filmmaking way to do it. With YouTube, of course, you don't have the budget to do that. You don't have the budget to rent a Foley stage, but you do have the budget to subscribe to a stock media website where they have all that stuff. Now I do that, so I'll give you an example. Let me show you. Let me go to my. Give me 1 second. We're going to go to screen sharing. I am going to replace screen sharing with. We're going to go back to here, and I'll show you. So I use what's called Envato Elements, and I'm not getting paid to promote them here, and then you can see, like, here's sound effects. And let's just say I put footsteps. And then I listen. Those sound awful. Oh, that does not sound like good footsteps. Yeah, I mean, so you've got all kinds of sound effects there. And then that's how I do it, like a doorbell. Like the other day, I had to place a doorbell in a video. That sounds good. I like that doorbell. I don't like that one. Oh, I don't like that. Sounds like an English doorbell, like a European doorbell. So that's how I go through and find the audio that I put into for the sound effects. Okay, so we have gone through the exhibition phase. Now let's talk about the distribution phase for a second. Okay, the distribution phase is how are you going to distribute that video? So usually what you want to do is you want to wait like a week to 14 to 2 weeks. You upload it to YouTube and you let YouTube do its thing. Do not push your video out. Do not share your video. Do not tell people to look at your video, because then that can throw off the algorithm, because the algorithm is trying to find the person that wants to watch it. So let's say my brother hates Teslas. He hates Teslas. So I send him a link and say, hey, Yuri, watch my video. I want you to check it out and just comment on it and all that stuff. And then he watches it. But he hates Teslas. So then the algorithm is going to incorrectly assume that that's the kind of person that likes to watch those videos. And then it's going to find people like Yuri, and it's going to push the video out to people like that. So stay away from that. Stay away from trying to share your video. Don't worry about the views. Let YouTube do its job. Try to find the person that wants to watch the video. And then a week to 14 days later, I would say more like 14 days later, then have a newsletter, have an email list of all your past customers, all your past clients, and send them a newsletter with a link to that video. Say, hey, we just released a new video on, let's say I'm a Tesla dealership, and I did the video on the awesome door handle for a Tesla. Then I push it out 14 days, 2 weeks later, I send out a newsletter to them. Hey, we just did a video on this Tesla door handle. Check it out. And then you're sharing that video with more people. Also, your sales staff. Maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, have a meeting with them. Tell them to share that video with their prospective clients, with their past clients. Because you remember, I can't remember the exact statistics, but it's always easier to get a repeat buyer than it is to get a new buyer, right? So if you have a business and you get someone to buy from you, it's cheaper and easier to get them to buy from you again than it is to try to get a new customer. So then you're distributing that, you're using that video to reconnect with your past customers, to also help, when you have prospective customers, you help them get down that sales funnel faster. So from the top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel, you try to help them get there much faster. Okay, guys. So goes, so let me just repeat that again. The 6 stages for production that's going to help you create great content. You've got your development phase, your pre-production phase, your production phase, your post-production phase, your exhibition stage, and your distribution stage. Those the In future videos, I'd like to dive deeper into each one of them and go over each one of them and how you can use those and how to make them a part of your process for creating videos so that you make banger videos and your business grows. I mean, I'm all about you growing your business. If you grow your business, I'm going to celebrate with you. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Please remember, subscribe to my channel. If you would like a free 30-minute strategy session with me, go to my website, click on the schedule button and schedule it with me. I would love to talk to you and help you grow your channel.